Welcome to the Watonga Community Corner podcast, where we talk all things Watonga, Oklahoma.
Hi, everybody. I'm Teresa France, and I am here with the Watonga Community Corner podcast. And today is episode 5, and I am here with Briston Lowry. He is our new Watonga Chief of Police. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. Thank you for meeting me today and going through all of these questions and getting to know you a little bit more.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
So, Briston, tell me a little bit about yourself and maybe what influenced you to even go into law enforcement.
Well, my entire adult life has been one of service. I started out in the United States Army. I spent 8 years in the Army, 4 in 2nd Ranger Battalion, and then an additional 4 years in the California National Guard with the 160th Long Range Surveillance Detachment.
Wow.
I was deployed in combat operations for Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. And then I got out and I became a martial arts instructor. I've been doing that for a long time. And then the opportunity came to be in law enforcement, and it was just kind of a practical thing. Teaching martial arts, it's kind of feast or famine.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So the law enforcement offered a much higher degree of stability for somebody like me and my background and my skills.
Yeah. And you're a family guy, so you have kids and a wife and the whole thing. I'm interested about that martial arts. You need to have a class around here sometime. I think that's great. Or at least maybe teaching about self-protection and that kind of thing.
I've done seminars for women's self-defense.
I like that.
I've done, I do a lot of free seminars for law enforcement. But yeah, first and foremost, I'm a family man.
Yeah.
And I've been with my wife, Kim, for over 20 years.
Wow. And I was just telling you how wonderful she is.
Yeah.
You are a blessed guy. I know that.
Most definitely. Yeah. I got a 17-year-old son and a 10-year-old son who turns 11 at the end of this month.
Oh, gosh.
Very proud of my boys.
I'm sure.
They're healthy, they're happy, and they're great students. And most importantly, they're good people.
Yeah. And you've been in service for a long time. So I'm sure that was instilled in your brain at some point. So who influenced you into this type of a career?
Well, I've had several influences. Practically speaking, I would say Sheriff Travis Doherty has empowered me in my career quite a bit. Very grateful to him. He saw something in me and he put me in a position where I could do a lot of good. And I served in the Blaine County Sheriff's Office as an investigator, investigating difficult crimes, difficult situations for a long time.
Yeah, tough stuff.
And it was because of Sheriff Travis Doherty empowering me to do that I was able to make an impact.
Well, so thank you, Sheriff Doherty, for recognizing the good in somebody that can continue into your career.
Philosophically speaking, I think my jiu-jitsu instructor, Sensei Ron Thomas, had a massive impact on the way I approach law enforcement, the way I think about it. He was a Orange County Sheriff's deputy in California. And he had a very tragic story with his son, Kelly Thomas, who was beaten to death by 6 Fullerton police officers.
Oh, man.
So, that was really rough. And his son suffered from mental illness. And I was deeply affected by that because of my instructors,
Sure.
and I saw how that affected him. And so, I believe that a compassionate approach in law enforcement is something that's really needed.
And I think I've heard too, Briston, that, in mental illness does play a really big facet of people that, maybe are in jail or in prison. And so having that type of an approach, I think, and recognizing this is an issue deeper than maybe what you're seeing at face value, is really an awesome.
Right. I believe in a compassion first policy. And if somebody needs to go to jail, they're still
absolutely.
They're still going to go to jail.
Yeah.
But I I believe in de-escalation.
Yeah.
And, as far as my martial arts background, I believe in being so skillful that I don't have to harm them.
Yeah.
So it, the tragedy of my instructor is that he was a defensive tactics instructor for law enforcement. And if people in the law enforcement community sought to be as skillful as he was, I don't think what happened to his son would happen. I mean, there is a flip side to that. There was two of those officers were involved in use of force incidents in LAPD, and they probably should not have been wearing a badge for bulletins. But that had a massive influence on the way I approach law enforcement.
Well, I can see why. I mean, that would definitely be an impact on your life for sure. Well, so Watonga's grateful that we have you on board here. And so how has it been over the last couple of months? June 3rd, right? Isn't that when you took this position, this office?
Right. Yeah, I started on June 3rd. There was a transition period where Chief Massey was still here for about a month. And then I picked up the reins from there.
Yeah. Well, so every community has a personality. What have you noticed about Watonga's?
If I had to characterize a personality for the city of Watonga, it'd be difficult, but I think perseverance comes to mind. I think it's fair to say that we've suffered some
setbacks.
Yeah. And I mean, we've, for example, we've lost the cheese factory, the prison. And now we're fixing to lose a lot of jobs because the gypsum plant shut.
I know that. I hate that.
But this town has survived a lot, and I'm very hopeful. I believe we're going to pursue.
I do too. I think and I like that. I like that you said it's perseverance. We're moving forward, and that's I think a good mindset to have when you step into a role where you're like this. You've got to look ahead and not keep thinking, well, it's the way it was always done this way or that way. Got to go forward. That's great. I like that idea. So some other questions I have a whole list of questions to ask, but some other things I want to know. What are your top priorities right now when you're in this position?
Well, the biggest thing I would like to see happen is securing the funding and the budget for us to have 2 officers on duty at all times. That's going to be a difficult thing to pull off. We're going to have to come up with some creative ways to get there, but that's probably my biggest priority because it is an officer safety thing. And I think we're going to do better work, more complete work when I know that I've got backup right around the corner.
Sure.
Or calls aren't getting stacked on a singular officer.
Right.
We work 12-hour shifts. Those are very long shifts.
Yeah.
I just, through experience, know that having 2 officers on duty for this city is what's really needed.
So in that, with the community, as far as that goes, what would you say? How can you build trust with the residents here and the businesses, and what are the things that you're going to do to instill that in our community?
Well, that's going to have to happen one case at a time.
Yeah.
And change takes time. We got to a lot of the officers here have done a great job of trying to rebuild the public trust.
Yeah.
And that's something that is at the tip of my brain at all times.
Sure.
We need to develop a culture within the department that is service minded, and change takes time. Sure. You don't hear about the officers that are doing their job day in and day out. You only hear about the ones that
fail.
Right.
Or make mistakes.
Or allow their egos to get
Yeah.
That's what you hear about. I just would like to point out that there's a lot of good talent on this team. And we're looking forward to regaining the public trust one case at a time.
Yeah. So how many did you say officers do you have?
We have 6 full-time officers at the moment. We have several reserves, so we've got about 9 officers in total.
Yeah. Is there on the slate for more, or is that where you're at this point?
What I want is to have 8 full-time officers, not including the chief of police.
Gotcha.
That will empower us to have 2 to a shift.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not such a difficulty when somebody goes on vacation.
I can understand. Yeah, and you don't feel like there's a strain.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do believe we do more thorough work. It boosts morale to have a partner on duty.
Oh, I'm sure.
It creates a much safer environment, both for the officers themselves and the public.
Yeah.
To have 2 officers on duty. So that is my biggest goal.
So how can the everyday average citizen partner with you in sorts? What can they do to enhance the Watonga Police Department?
Volunteer opportunities would help. Reaching out to us.
Okay.
I think some people have a difficult time reaching out to the police department
because they have a fear mind about what they
we're people too, and we are here to help.
Sure.
We're here to serve our community.
What calls do you get most often? What types of calls do you field?
Here in Watonga, I think it's safe to say domestic.
Oh, really?
Domestic calls. Generally probably the most that we get.
So maybe your average everyday citizen can be a better neighbor. Maybe they can help identify issues before they become an issue, big problem.
Yeah. I think a lot of issues are a lot of things come across our desk because people might not have these social skills to interact with their neighbor in a constructive.
So it's a tool. I've got an idea. We need to have more block parties where we all can get together and know your neighbor a little bit more and actually be a neighbor.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea. I mean, I've lived next to my neighbor and we've had a very cordial relationship. But no, we don't have that type of community.
I think it's the 1950s style community that we're all kind of craving these days that we love.
Well, even in my lifetime, I remember having.
Yeah, me too. Riding your bikes and.
I remember, hey, the street lights are coming on. It's time.
Gotta go home.
Yeah. But I remember my folks hanging out with the neighbors all the time.
Yeah, having cookouts, do the things.
I think our society's become more and more isolated, and as a result, instead of just knocking on the door and saying, hey, please don't do X, Y, and Z, they call us.
Yeah, they make a phone call.
Yeah. Which we don't mind. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But I do think a lot of that could be handled, like you said.
The everyday citizen that's part of what they could do to make your life a little bit less challenging. I don't know. Maybe that's something we can work on. That's maybe a part of the community efforts that we can build to bridge helping neighbor or something.
Right.
I don't know. What advice do you have for residents about protecting their homes, their vehicles, and their property?
Be mindful. A while back when I was working for the police department years ago, we had a string of vehicle burglaries, and it surprised me to learn that many people just don't lock things up here in Watonga.
It's, a small town.
No, I think good fences make good neighbors. Lock your car, lock your door.
Yes.
I'm not asking you to have this under siege mentality, but
don't go to the door with a gun in hand.
Right. But just, being mindful of the fact that somebody could walk by and see if your door is unlocked. These small little actions, it keeps people honest.
So reporting suspicious activity, is that something you guys are interested in, like neighbors doing for each other?
Very much so.
Okay.
Very much.
You see it, report it.
Yeah, if you see it, report it.
Yeah.
We are documenting everything.
Good. Oh, that's good.
So our report numbers are way up. Our arrest numbers are way up. So we're making improvements.
That's great. So the next phase of that question is youth. What are you doing to improve connections with youth, to help them not be afraid of reaching out to an officer if there's a situation going on at home, or just to have more of a healthy respect for law enforcement?
Well, we're going to develop a strong community presence here in the city of Watonga. We're going to make an effort to um, make appearances at public events. My predecessor, Chief Massey, was very good at that. That's something that I'm going to have to develop in myself. I'm a very private person.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of stick to myself, but that's something I'm going to have to work on. You can expect that same level of community engagement with this.
Yeah. So school's about to start. What are some advices that you can give to community members about being aware of school zones and kids walking to school?
Yeah, I mean, just being aware.
Yeah.
As far as the relationship with the school system here in Watonga, um, I know Kyle Hildebrandt, and he's worked with me before, and I look forward to developing a good professional relationship with the leaders of the schools in our community, and hopefully them trusting the police department enough to call us when they need us when something comes up.
Yeah. So are you going to have an officer at the school, or is that true? Is that called a truant officer?
It's what it's called is a school resource
officer.
And the way that functions is the school system pays the salaries. It's the school resources that allow us to get enough.
Yeah. Okay.
We currently don't have one in place here in Watonga. That's a question for the
school system. Okay. Is there anything that we didn't ask that you would like for the community to know about?
I would like the community to see us as human beings too.
Yeah.
We're people too. I think there's a psychological thing that happens when you see somebody in uniform. You don't see the person behind it.
Yeah.
You see a uniform, and then and this is just natural. This is what we do. This is how everybody's mind works. Yeah. You make a snap judgment, and you believe you know everything that you think you need to know just based off that observation. I would like for them to start seeing us as people.
Yeah, I get it.
We're members of the community here, and we are out here to do the best job that we can for the city of Watonga.
Is there a new chapter that you plan to unfold here in the next year?
Well, I'm not sure how to answer that. I would just be rehashing my compassion first.
For the compassion for service.
Yeah, compassion and service mindset.
I love it. I think that's great. And I think we're very fortunate to have you protecting our community. I really do. And I thank you for that. And I know this is not something, like you said, it's not, you don't really like to talk about yourself, but you're definitely the right guy for this job. And we're really happy to have you. I feel much safer knowing that you are leading this team to protect our community.
Thank you very much.
How can somebody get a hold of you here at the office, or if there's an emergency, what do they need to do?
They just call the police number. It's 580-623-7355.
Okay. And they can always dial 911.
Absolutely. If you have an immediate emergency, the best thing to do is call 911.
Yeah. We sure do appreciate you, Briston. And I'm so glad that you felt called to do this position. And like I said before, really do feel like you're the right guy for this job. And we're fortunate in this community to have you.
Well, thank you, and I hope I don't let you on.
I know you won't. Thanks for listening to the Watonga Community Corner podcast. This is Briston Lowry, your Watonga Police Chief, and thank you again for being a part of our community.
Thank you for listening to the Watonga Community Corner podcast. Join us next time as we highlight all things in our great small town of Watonga, Oklahoma.